On this edition of Gameball Info Endzone, we're going to talk about the 2018 upcoming season and discuss the schedules of all your favorite teams, and we'll also give you our predictions to the records for the upcoming season. It's going down officially. Gameball Info Endzone, of course, starts right now. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to Gameball Info Endzone, where the football season never ends. I'm Marcus Anthony Jenkins.
I'm Michael Riley.
I'm Luke Cartman. Now, today we're going to discuss the up-and-coming 2018 season, and we're going to talk about the schedules of every team in the National Football League, and give you our predictions to how they'll finish the regular season. Mike, Luke, we're going to kick things off with you. We're going to start in the AFC East, and we're going to talk about the Buffalo Bills. Luke, you have the Buffalo Bills finishing at a record of 4-12 in the regular season. How did you have them finish that record?
What Mike and I did is we sat down, we went through the week. We did week one. We did all 16 games for week one. Kept track wins and losses week two. Went all the way through week three. So we didn't just pick up. We didn't put up the Bills schedule and say, okay, that's a win, that's a loss. We didn't do that. We went week by week as a whole to the league. Week one, all 32 teams. Week two, all 32 teams. All the way through the season there. So when I got the Bills at 4-12, basically, I mean, they don't have Tyrod Taylor at quarterback anymore. AJ McCarron, kind of an unknown starting quarterback. Had a few stuff that hadn't really for the bank with an opportunity there, but a different cast of characters there in Buffalo. And the basis of my 4-12 for the Bills is that I think it'd be a 500 team. But I mean, the 4-12 is more of a reflection of if the season started today, they would probably only be favored for the 16 games they would play. So for there to be a 500 football team, they would have to at least, cover the spread or beat some teams that be, underdogs against and finish 500.
All right. And Mike, you actually had them winning less games. You actually gave them a record of 1-15.
Well, the reason why I gave them a record of 1-15, because as we was breaking it down, looking over the schedule of the NFL season coming up in 2018, only see one win. That's against the Jets, and they're at home. And you have to base it off their drafts, stock-wise, and the players who have come and gone from the Buffalo Bills. Last year, they were a playoff team and could have beat the Jacksonville Jaguars if they didn't have any real turnovers per se in that game and would be more aggressive and punching in the end zone. Or you could have kicked the field goal and you still could have been in the playoffs. So I look at that perspective. And also, you have to look at the players who they drafted. I did like the first round pick in Edmonds, the linebacker from Virginia Tech. But I'm not really sold on Josh Allen, the quarterback from Wyoming. And that's the reason why I gave him a 115 record. So you look at his stock and what he did last year in college, he went from 60% completion to 50-something completion and the passing rating. So that's why I kind of did that. If they would have drafted Josh Rosen, another accurate quarterback, they would have been a higher win column. But the reason why I gave them that is because of the draft part and also who they're acquiring in free agency, and they really get no weapons on the outside to help the young quarterback out, or McCarron, whoever started week one in that category.
So basically, with the outcome of course free agency and the moves that were made by the Buffalo Bills, just basically summing up, this looks like this could definitely be another. This could be a disappointing season with them being eliminated from contention. Looks like pretty early in the playoffs.
Yeah, they went from a playoff team to a non-playoff team, so it's going to be a long season for the Buffalo Bills as we see it if it started today.
All right, Buffalo Bills. Mike 1-15, Luke 4-12. We're going to jump to the Miami Dolphins. Mike, I actually want to start with you on this one because you actually have the Miami Dolphins with that same record of 1-15. How do you assess the Miami Dolphins?
Well, kind of the same category, except for they let Jarvis Landry go, and Ryan Tannehill, who can't stay healthy. I mean, they got some good players in the draft, don't get me wrong, but can you trust Ryan Tannehill to stay healthy? And who's his outside weapons besides Danny Amendola in the slot? I mean, who do you have to throw to? I mean, you drafted a tight end in the second round of Penn State, but who else? And the defense is there, but you lost the Dominic Sue, and you also acquired a pass rusher from the Rams and Robert Quinn. How's he going to fit that system? So I factor all of those into it, and I gave him a win. One win, and that was at home.
All right, so Mike basically assessing kind of like their roster's kind of like an enigma. You don't. They have a little bit of talent on the roster offensively, but just finding out how to put that puzzle together basically is where that problem seems to go.
Exactly. Their offense is anemic. That's the way I look at it this upcoming season. You're going to have an anemic offense, and everybody's going to expose that on the defensive side of the ball, and you're not going to have much production like you did last season.
All right, Luke, I'm going to swing it your way. You actually have them finish slightly under 500. You have them sitting at a record of 7-9.
I mean, that's pretty much. I assume if Tannehill stays healthy. I mean, 7-9, 8-8, 9-7 will be the record of the Miami Dolphins for as long as Ryan Tannehill is not a quarterback. But not particularly a knock on the guy. I mean, he's not going to be. You're not going to see 12-13 with a year with the quarterback, and you're not going to see 12-13 loss a year with the quarterback either. They do have Adam Gase as the head coach. They're one of the best offensive minds in football right there. They do have that South Beach home field that no other team really can be able to replicate. I got to get some wins early in September when the humidity is just awful for the visitors there, and the Dolphins come out wearing the white uniforms, whatever else. They kind of unique home field there. A good offensive mastermind coach. I think Tannehill's going to be able to stay healthy this year. I like Kenyon Drake running back, and I mean, again, a healthy Tannehill is good for 7, 8, or 9 wins.
I just don't see it that way, and I'm going to stick to my guns because of the things I said. Also, can you trust Tannehill to lead your team to a playoffs? Because last time they was in the playoffs, he got hurt, he was done for the season. Then Moore had to step in and take over, and he led them to the playoffs. So I trust Moore in the backup quarterback than the starting quarterback Tannehill. That's just my opinion about it.
Miami Dolphins, once again 7-9, seeing that potential at least in the beginning of the season, maybe going off to a hot start, maybe kind of cooling off as the season progresses. Mike is basically just stating that just not seeing how they'll actually put all these players together.
I do have them with another home win over the Patriots. I believe they won 4 of the last 5 of the last 6 in South Beach. So I think they get again this year.
And there's most of the time when they play the Patriots, it's always that Monday night game. For some reason,
This year's not.
But if they don't play Monday, then the Patriots win. If they play Monday, then the Dolphins win. So it's kind of been a history flop repeats itself.
All right, and speaking of the Patriots, like we just discussing, we're going to jump to them as well. We're going to start with you. Obviously, both of you, and like most people, would expect them to have a winning record. Luke, you have them at 12-4.
Yeah, I actually kind of popped to an 0-2 start going to Detroit for a Sunday night game in week 3. So the Patriots 0-2 on the road and a night game in Detroit in the Dome could be a very, very entertaining. I mean, in my opinion, we're going to know who has home field advantage throughout the AFC in the playoffs after week 1. Houston goes to New England. They had, I think it was Deshaun Watson's second career start last year. They had the Patriots right there in the fourth quarter. Couldn't quite hang on. I think they get him this year. Watson going to be going back healthy? They got a whole offseason to get ready for him. And no, it's all. It's the first game of the year. Yeah, it's in Boston or Foxborough or whatever, but it's not. It's not going to be like it's not a December road game. So it's not going to be cold. They're not going to beat these 12 degrees. So warm weather. While Houston's an indoor team, they got the retractable roof. They do play on natural grass, so the surface won't be an issue for them. Actually, I think they're back to basics, and they got the base stuff now. That shouldn't be an issue for them though either. I think the Texans go in there to get them 1-0. Houston just started off 1-0, and Patriots. I believe the Patriots go to Jacksonville week 2. I think the game's at Jacksonville. Week 2, Florida, humidity, same thing that Miami has going on early. But I think they beat Detroit week 3. They get it going. Then I have them losing. I think mid-December at Miami. I have them losing to Pittsburgh too. So, but yeah, that's what 12 and 4 comes from.
All right, Luke. Thank you for that assessment. Basically, is it true? I want to ask you both this also real quick. Does it seem like the New England Patriots, like they get kind of caught slipping? Like you saw how they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs last season. It seems like teams are more reluctant to get them early in the season, and then they start to peak going into like October, November, December.
Mm-hmm. Right. I said after the Super Bowl, I think Houston's going to be the team to beat this year, given they stay healthy.
All right, and Mike, you have the Patriots sitting at 15-1.
Well, after that Super Bowl loss and that game, you felt like Belichick was so mad that it made him more hungry. It made him start over. It's like, okay, 2017 is out the window. We're on to the 2018 season. So they start with a win against Houston. I'm not buying into Houston having a winning season this year. I'll explain more into that later on. But they get a win at home against Houston. The only loss I have against Jacksonville on the road. They're playing a tough team, which was a top 10 tier defense. I feel like they get that loss, learn for it, get it out of the way, and have a winning stretch on the way. It seems like when teams beat the Patriots early, you don't expect they really wake up, and that's when they dig deep to the detail and their techniques and their plays and all that. What needs to go here, what assignments needs to be done is part of do your job. That's the 3-letter code that the Patriots and Bill Belichick lives by. Do your job and get better. And I have them winning at home against Kansas City. Now, the last few times the Patriots played the Kansas City Chiefs, they got blown out and still went to the Super Bowl. So I think this time they'll beat them and still get there. And I have them winning the rest of the games. They beat Detroit and all that. And I just don't see nobody staying their way. Also in Pittsburgh, I have them winning as well. Tom Brady, all-time against Pittsburgh Steelers, schooling the playoffs is 11-2. You can't go against that. 11-2, and he just basically owns the Steelers. I mean, the Steelers try to get creative, but Tom Brady is just Tom Brady. That's why he's the go for a reason. He always picks them apart, and sometimes when the Steelers play against the Patriots, they always make one crucial mistake, and it costs them the game. So 15-1 for me.
They get the Vikings and the Packers at home. In addition to that as well, I think they lose those games in Lambeau, Minnesota. And as far as the Kansas City game goes, they play the Colts at home the Thursday night before, so they have about a week and a half to get ready. The previous Sunday before that, Kansas City, they have to play a very, very physical Jacksonville team. It's at Kansas City, but they only have the 1 week to get ready. It's a road game. They got that week and a half, and that's why the Patriots in that one.
So a tough little back-to-back from Kansas City.
Yes.
Could make a difference in the game going into New England.
Right.
It's a tough one. I mean, like most people, winning records for the New England Patriots. As long as you have Tom Brady as a quarterback and Bill Belichick as a coach, I don't think anybody's going to disagree with either one of you on your records. Either way, they're going to go to the postseason, and of course, where they go from there, only time will tell when they step on that football field. We're going to jump to the Jets, and Mike, I'm going to start with you. Neither one of you guys have them at a winning record as well. Similar records as you mentioned against the Buffalo Bills. Mike, I want to start with you. You have the Jets also finishing at 1-15. You have 3 teams finishing the season in the AC East alone at 1-15.
Well, I'm just going to be quick and simple and honest, in my opinion. Same thing with the Buffalo, same thing with the Dolphins. Their defense is okay, but the offense, you got the rookie quarterback, and you have additions to the free agency. The Jets can really do that much, especially in the draft. They have their quarterback of the future, but is he going to be a turnover-prone machine like it was last season? I don't know. And he might get thrown under the wolves early and forced to be a starter. It just depends on how Teddy Bridgewater or Luke McCown quarterback competition goes, or do they stay healthy? So I'm not buying into the Jets just yet. It's going to take them some years to get back into contention. And that's my stake on it.
All right, Luke, you have them finishing with the record of 4-12.
Nathan Shepard, AFC Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's the highlight. I think Darnold's going to come in there when he gets a chance to start and be a good quarterback, though. I mean, maybe not from a win-loss perspective. I think he'll put respectable numbers up, keep missing games. I think the Jets are a year away. I think when Sam Darnold goes into Week 1 of 2019, the whole offseason, he's going to be, for lack of a better term, the man. I like the Jets a lot more than, but just not like, they're just too young of a team right now.
And the GMs and the president, whoever that is, they didn't make aggressive move in the offseason. They make moves here and there, but they didn't make the moves to be like, wow.
Jets were 4-4 halfway through the year last year, so if they can get up to a similar start 8-9 weeks of the year this year, I'd be very impressed.
So I just want to ask a quick question before we not to fight the Philadelphia 76ers of the NBA, but with the Jets, they seem to have some talented pieces. Trust the process?
Yeah. Not yet.
The model can apply. The model of trust the process can apply.
There is no process. It's going to take years.
All right, Jets fans, not time to rejoice just yet. According to Mike and Luke, we'll see what happens. There's still 18 games played starting in September, so we'll find out. That's actually going to wrap it up for us with the AFC East. We're going to jump to the AFC South, starting with the Houston Texans, as we talked about earlier, discussing the New England Patriots. Luke, I'm going to start with you. You have them finishing with an impressive 12-4.
Yeah, last night when we got the Week 17, we added the schedules there, and then we picked our winners and then added the schedules up. I got Houston beating Jacksonville Week 17, but finishing 12-4. Jacksonville finishing 11-5. So based off my previous 15 game picks there, I have both teams 11-4 going into that game. So the game's at Houston. It would in all likelihood be the Sunday. The Week 17 that I have a Sunday night game. Until the week before. So that would probably be the NBC Sunday night game. The thing about Houston though is you saw how good they was with Deshaun Watson last year, how bad they were with that. That he's got to stay healthy. He stays healthy, they're Super Bowl. They're the AFC rep in the Super Bowl this year. With the healthy Deshaun Watson, and I got him going 12-4 for that reason. Kids the truth.
I don't think anybody would disagree with you there. When he's healthy, he's dangerous, and he fills that stat sheet in so many different ways.
You saw him against the Patriots out the road. You saw him against the Seahawks. Like, both of losing efforts, but they were scoring 35, 40 points in defeat. And they should have J.J. Watt back healthy as well. Clowney's been coming on. A lot of like the Texans there.
Mike, you actually have him finishing with a record of 10-6. Kind of a record of why you have him with 6 off.
Well, I'm not buying into some of the stuff that he say is still a work in progress, but you're going to see a lot of teams focusing on Deshaun Watson now because he was a rookie. Nobody expected him to come out and ball out like this before he got hurt. But you're going to start seeing more teams now doing a little scheme on defenses to where he could have had a good season against that or a turnover season against that. So I don't see 12-4. I see 10-6, possibly a wild card spot in the playoffs because you still have other teams that's willing to knock you off because you have a year under your belt. So once you do that, then everybody start focusing on teams with that quarterback style. Like, okay, you got a year under your belt, just like they did Dak Prescott last year. The year before he exploded, but the year after he didn't do so much because everybody figured out how to stop it. So I see the same way going with the Houston Texans and the offense, stopping Deshaun Watson and that. But he can stay healthy. Yes, that's true. He'll ball out, but I see 10-6. I don't see him representing the Super Bowl because the AFC South is going to start being more competitive now. And you still had Jacksonville, the division leaders. You got Tennessee coming up ahead. I haven't lost in 2 of those games, split each set, so I see 10-6.
Well, Watson's still going to have Will Fuller, DeAndre Hopkins, and the running back Lamar Miller to work with. So I think 10-6 worst case scenario, even if they stay healthy, of course.
See, so I want to ask you this, Mike, real quick. Do you think that this record reflects off of basically, usually any sport, regardless of who it is, when they have an impressive rookie season? Of course, there's always that rumor for that sophomore jinx. Do you think that this is that show me season to where, like you said, it's not gonna catch anybody off guard?
Exactly. You gotta. This is show me. You gotta put it. The proof is in the pudding. You gotta prove me wrong for me to jump on that bandwagon. Otherwise, it's 10-6.
All right. Little bit of difference in records, but nonetheless, I can't wait to see a healthy Deshaun Watson, a healthy J.J. Watt. I think this team is going to be dangerous. I can't wait to see how this team finishes in the regular season myself. We're going to jump from the Texans. We're going to go to the Indianapolis Colts. Looking at both of your standpoints, it's still not time to really believe in the Indianapolis Colts. Luke, you have them at 2 wins and 14 losses.
Well, I just heard a day or two ago that Andrew Luck still hasn't thrown a football and having surgery on his shoulder there. And that's, I can't figure to win any more than 2, 3, 4 games without Andrew Luck playing for him. Until we know his status, I can't go any higher than that.
So 14, Mike, you have them at 5 wins and 11.
Well, same thing he was alluding to, but at least give him a few more wins. And plus, you got a different team and a different system, a different coaching staff. And also, they finally got some offensive line for Andrew Luck to be protected, but it's still going to take some time to develop. I just don't see him making any run playoffs. And Andrew, depending on how Andrew Luck comes out of the shoulder surgery, I'll just have to give him a 5-11 record. That's my scoop, and I'm sticking with my guns.
So, Colts fan, pray for Andrew Luck. That's it.
They're an 8-win team. With them or better.
So we'll definitely see what happens. We definitely wish him, the best moving forward, and hopefully he comes out of this injury and live up to that potential that we know, those that follow football that know he can live up to. Now we're going to jump to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mike, I want to start with you. You have them, just like the Houston Texans, you have them at 10-6 as well.
Yeah, because it's going to be a little hard for the Jacksonville Jaguars this year because they're not the underdog anymore. They got everybody's attention. I figured the first few games of the season they start hot, then they get that little slump, and they bounce back and forth here and there, and they still have that defense, but can they go on the road and win games that they need to win, get into the playoffs? So I see them the 10-6 on that bubble of that last wild card spot in the playoff weekend. So, and do you trust Blake Bortles enough with this offense and good defense in year 2, even though he's been there for a long time? But in year 2 of a good season, do you trust Blake Bortles get you another deep run in the playoffs?
Luke, you actually gave them one more win, so instead of 10-6, you gave them 11-5. Right?
Yeah, the thing that worries me about the Jaguars, I think we both had them beat the Patriots, right?
Yeah.
I think we both had them losing week 3 at home to Tennessee because we're going to see how they can do that hype train. Same thing on the schedule here. They play at Kansas City. One week they play at Dallas the week after that. If they go to Kansas City, win at Arrowhead. They're going to be. I don't know that this team can. They're only a college team. That number 15 team that beats the number 2 team, and then they get beat by that unranked team the next week. That's what Jackson reminds me of. I think they're going to beat New England, but lose the next week. I think they're going to beat Kansas City, but lose the next week to a team like Dallas. I don't know that they haven't experienced enough sustained success for me to believe that they can. They're good enough to beat any team in the league. I don't know they can beat any team in the league 2 weeks in a row though. And I still got them. What do we have? 11-5, respectable 11-5. But I think they're going to have. They're going to have a couple of. How did they beat the Patriots and lose the Titans? And how did they so on and so forth? I think I had the home team winning each game against the Texans there. And like I said, I think it all comes down to that Week 17 matchup at Houston.
All right, Jacksonville Jaguars. Luke once again 11-5. Mike not too far off at 10-6. Speaking of Tennessee, like you just mentioned before, Tennessee Titans, you definitely have this being possibly like a breakout year for them. This is going to be another year of experience for Marcus Mariota, the franchise quarterback for the Titans. Mike, I want to start with you. You have them at 14-2.
Well, I think they will exceed our expectations. They beat a good team on the road in the playoffs last year against the Chiefs. They were down by 18 points and rallied back and got that win. And Mariota got his own completion for a touchdown. I don't know how he did it, but he got that concentration goal line. Then they went to the defensive coordinator for the Texans brings that Patriot pedigree background to that organization to get better, and they drafted some good players in the draft, even though they had 4 to 5 draft picks. And you also look at the additions that they got. This team could be a very good team if they can stay healthy, play good offense, and play dominant on defenses, be consistent on both sides. If they can, they'll be a winning team. I see 14-2 winning the AFC South Division. The sky's the limit for the Tennessee Titans.
All right, 14-2 says Mike. We're going to swing this your way. Not giving us many wins. You got them still finishing at 11-5.
Every time we came to the Titans on the schedule last night, I was wanting to bet against them and had to keep on reminding myself they didn't make the playoffs and win the game last year. So they do have a new coach. I thought it was kind of bizarre that they kind of acquired the head coach after advancing to the playoffs last year. But they have a favorable schedule, I think, outside of AFC South Division opponents. But I think they struggle with the Texans and the Jaguars. I think I have 3 of their 5 losses coming against them. But I think they split with Jacksonville. I'm not sure they beat Houston once. But yeah, I haven't seen a house outside of the South though.
All right, Tennessee Titans. I'm going to ask you both about Marcus Mariota because he is somebody who's lived up to the hype. He's definitely seen that he's improved in each of his years. Do you think that this is the time where he actually leads the Titans to that next level?
I think so. As long as you get a good offensive coordinator, work with them, keep it simple, nothing fancy, whatever, every once in a while, and the defense, keep playing good defense, the sky's the limit.
That's going to wrap up the AFC South. Now we're going to go from the South and we're going to head up north in the AFC Conference. And we're going to talk about first the Baltimore Ravens. Similar records between the both of you. We're going to start with you first. You have them finishing with a season record of 7-9.
Yeah, much like the Titans, so I just said I wanted to initially pick against them a lot whenever they came across our weekly schedule there. And I had to remind myself, what they did last year. I wanted to pick the Ravens to win every single game this upcoming year. Then I reminded myself they missed the playoffs 3 consecutive years. So I reminded myself, they haven't made the playoffs in 3 years. They were a bad team over that 3-year stretch. They just haven't won the top 6 in the AFC. So 7-9 is basically the shoe fits.
All right. Mike, similar, but you actually have them finishing at 500 at an even record of 8-8.
Well, I'm going to piggyback off what he was saying. Also, the offense hasn't been that good. And ever since Ray Lewis retired after that Super Bowl run, it just seems like they're here and they bounce to the playoffs and then they drop. And you also base it off the draft wise. They also have to base it off who they brought in during free agency. So I look at that perspective, and it's going to take at least a year or two to get back to that Baltimore Ravens dominance like they once were. So I give them an 8-8.
All right, Baltimore Ravens. We're going to jump from the Ravens and we're going to go to the Cincinnati Bengals. Another similar record as the records that you had in the AFC East. You have the Bengals. Who's going to start with you? You have them finishing at 4-12.
Very, very similar to what I said about the Bills at the start of this. I think of the 16 games they're going to play, it'll be favored in only about 4 of them. So that's kind of a spread thing right there. I'm not sure. I actually think the Browns are going to be better than them this year. But that's not a disrespect to Memphis or anything. I'm not. There's a lot. With the emergence of the Browns, in there, the Ravens are going to be that. They're going to remain the Miami Dolphins of the AFC North. The Steelers are going to remain for lack of a better term, the Patriots of the AFC North. And so I just thought that someone's got to finish last there.
All right, and Mike, I'm going to kick this one to you. You actually have a few teams actually in the AFC Conference alone. You also have the Cincinnati Bengals finishing with only 1 win.
Like I was saying last year, Marvin Lewis has been there for his 17th or 16th year. Playoff appearances, but 0 playoff wins. How you keep a job that long and don't get a playoff win? It's just maybe because Cincinnati doesn't believe in other coaches, and maybe because it's cheaper. I don't know what's going on. And they did pretty well in the draft, and they did okay in free agency, but it's still going to be the same results, and it's still going to be a losing record. And Vontae's purpose is spend the first 4 games of the season during PED violation, and they address the offensive need, but they address that linebacker spot like they should because of his suspension. So I take those two as a factor, and they're not going to win that much games, and they can't really stay healthy. So on a good team, that's all I'm going to give them.
All right, looks like both these this team as well coming short of the playoffs according to predictions of Mike and Luke. We're gonna jump to this is actually interesting. The Cleveland Browns, we know all the acquired talent they got during this offseason thus far. I want to start with you. Despite all that newly acquired talent, you still only have them finishing with 3-13. Why do you still have them finishing so low?
I think everybody's overhyping the Cleveland Browns, and people forget this is still the Cleveland Browns. They still struggle, and they had started quarterbacks 18 or 19 years in the NFL, how long ever they have in 20-some years. It just Cleveland's being Cleveland. I didn't like their draft picks at all. I like the free agency players who they acquired. And I'm really not sold on Baker Mayfield in that particular system, or Denzel Ward, the cornerback on the defensive system, with Greg Williams, his aggressive style. So I give him 3-13.
All right, Luke, you got them finishing a little bit higher. You have them finishing with a 6-10 record.
Yeah, I think they're going to perform very well at home in a few games this year. I think they beat the Bengals twice, actually, so they'll be undefeated in Ohio. I think they get the Ravens at home. I believe the first one of the year will be a Thursday night game at home against the Jets, week 3. And I actually think they're going to go into Denver late December and get a win there. So those are just a few of the 6 wins that I have for them there. I'm a big Tyrod Taylor guy. Denzel Ward was they probably could have done better with the number 4 spot overall. He was the number 1 defensive, or excuse me, the number 1 cornerback in the draft though. So it wasn't really that much of a reach game at number 4. They got the offensive lineman in the second round there, as well as Nick Chubb. So I don't think passing on Barkley is going to come back to hurt me as some people think it will. Big Nick Chubb guy as well, and I don't think Mayfield's going to see the field until by December. I don't think Baker Mayfield will see the field until the Browns are mathematically eliminated.
All right, Cleveland Browns, even with that newly acquired talent, still not able to shake off the Cleveland Brown curse. So unfortunately, if you're a Browns fan, still may not be that year. So we'll find out what happens coming in September. The final team in the AFC North that we're going to talk about is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Luke, I want to start with you with this one. Not really surprising record. This is a typical finish. It seems like for the Steelers, you have them at 11-5.
Yeah, I think they're going to split with the Ravens. I think the home team when you game there. I think they're going to beat the Patriots. I think they're going to lose a Monday night game to the Buccaneers, though. So they're going to have that one kind of head scratcher. Remember, they lost to the Bears last year in overtime, and they lost to towards the end of the year. And it's like a surprise, but they lost to Jacksonville too, which at the time nobody could believe. But they'll they're going to split with the Ravens. Beat the Patriots, lose that head scratch on Monday night at Tampa Bay, and then the rest of the 11 or 12 games, they'll beat the teams they should. They'll lose to the teams they should.
All right, Mike, let's swing to you. You have them finishing slightly above 500. You have them finishing at 9-7.
Well, they still have a 9-7 and win the division, make it to the playoffs. It's just how they acquired players the offseason, and plus you still got Le'Veon Bell situation. And you also got the team chemistry situation. You also have Big Ben Roethlisberger, who's not happy with the quarterback that he drafted in the 3rd round. So I factored all those into this play. And you still don't have their players that they need to stay healthy. So I give them a respectable 9-7 wild card playoff spot. And they'll lose to teams that they should be, and they win the teams that they shouldn't be. So it is what it is, 9-7.
And that is going to conclude the AFC North. I have a question for you, both very quickly. Does it seem like the way that these records are set, you basically have the typical teams, there's still not much improvement overall in conference, and we're going to see basically the same big dogs at the top of the mountain, and you still have those lower franchises not doing very much, equal the offseason moves that they've made, but it's not much of a difference for any of these teams that would make that
That's why I preface all my picks and predictions as sure to be wrong. My sure to be wrong picks.
Pretty much the same, but I'll base it off acquisition, the draft, and the free agency, and I'm going to be a little bit more hard on it.
All right, and lastly, we're going to head to the West Coast. We're going to talk about the AFC West, and we're going to start with the Denver Broncos. Quite the difference, actually, between these two teams. Mike, you have them finishing with a hot 12-4.
Well, last year was their down year because on the offensive side, they really have a quarterback and they really have an offensive line. They still have a number one defense, but they was out there too long. A Super Bowl caliber defense that can win you championships. So what they did was they signed some players in the offseason. Of course, they signed Case Keenum to a 2-year deal. They drafted Nick Chubb, who I like that they drafted. And they still have the positioning at the offensive spot. They drafted a receiver in the second round to go along with that receiving core, Thomas and Sanders in the crew. And they drafted a good running back overall. I see Denver winning 12 games and getting to the playoffs.
Lou, you actually have a different record for them. You have them finishing right at 500 with an 8-8 record.
Which is still a 3-game improvement over last year. I think they beat the Chiefs at home. I think they beat the Chargers at home. I think they beat the Raiders at home. I think they go 3-3 in the division, actually. They are actually currently a 2-point favorite week 1 over Seattle. Another game in Denver. I got the Seahawks winning that one. But I mentioned I think the Browns are going to go just. I think the Browns are going to catch them apart in December, where Denver's going to be mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. That's why I think the Browns get them there. But no, so again, I had to win 3 more games than a year ago, going undefeated at home against division opponents. And but I think outside of the division, a lot of the matchups they have, they're just not the better team. Because the AFC West plays the NFC West this year. I just think the Seahawks, definitely the Rams, and you can make a case for the 49ers are all just going to be equal or better teams. Like they play San Francisco at San Francisco. I have no choice but to pick the home team in that one. I picked Denver. They were home against them. So I mean, I'm not buying. I mean, Case Keenum is better than anyone that had a quarterback last year, but I would be surprised if he's a quarterback next year, 2019.
All right. Denver Broncos, different records. One 8-8, one 12-4. So we'll see how they match up against their schedule moving forward. Going from the Denver Broncos, we're going to go to Kansas City and talk about the Chiefs. I have to do that real quick. Mike, I want to start with you. You have them finishing. This is almost like a typical record. I think it'd be fair to say having them finish at 10-6.
Well, they start a little bit hot, then they always go on a little slump. Then the last few games, when it's needed, when they really count, they win and get into the playoffs. So it's going to be the same perspective. Also, they lost critical players in the offseason, and they also let some players go in the offseason and traded some as well. And Patrick Mahomes, he's going to have to show me that he can be that guy and get the job done in his first full season after started, and they traded Marcus Peters. They let other players go. They did acquire Sammy Watkins on the offensive side in the offseason, but they still have to get that corner fulfilled, and they haven't done that yet. So I give them 10-6.
Luke, you actually have them finishing with an impressive record of 12-4.
Yeah, I have them losing week 2 at Pitt. They haven't won at Pittsburgh since '86, so I can't pick them there. They have a Monday night game week 4 at Denver. I have them losing that one as well. I have them losing. I believe they play at Oakland on Thursday night in mid-December, if I'm not mistaken. And I have them losing at road against the Patriots because the Patriots play a weaker opponent and have a week and a half to get ready for them as well. But other than that, I mean, Andy Reid said they can play today. They didn't have a lot in the way of draft picks, but they got all. I mean, they went all defense in the draft. I mean, I'm buying Pat Mahomes. I think Tyreek Hill's proven himself. Kareem Hunt's proven himself. Watkins has to stay healthy. Kelsey's proven himself. But if coach says he can play today, I'm not going to argue with him.
He's got to show me. He's got to show me in the show me state of Missouri.
All right, Kansas City to one of their favorite division rivals, and that is the now Los Angeles Chargers. Actually, interesting with this one as well. Both of you have absolutely opposite records. Mike, I want to start with you. You have been finishing at a stellar 14-2.
Well, because last year it was the new system, new players, and they didn't know who they were, and some of the games that they were close to win, but they ended up losing it. So if they won the close games that they lost, they would have been a scary team in the AFC playoffs last year. So I put that in factor. Now they have a full year season together. And I like the Chargers defense a lot, especially with Ingram and Bosa coming off the edge. You got the safety Aaron James, who they drafted, who can play all types of defensive back spot. They got two good corners. They got some linebackers. Offensively, if the offense gets gel well, this team can be dangerous. And I have them as my favorites to win the AFC West division.
Looks like we see things a little bit differently. You actually have this Chargers team finishing under 500 at 7-9.
Yeah, they got a few East Coast games at noon this year. I believe that's one thing I can go over the schedule last night was those West Coast teams when they're 3,000 miles from home got to play at 10 a.m. Pacific time. The record says they don't do too terribly well there. They're also schizophrenia at their finest. They started 0-4 last year. I got them starting 0-3 this year. And I just think it's going to be a mirror image of last year. And it's going to, they're going to come on like gangbusters in December, just miss the playoffs, and it's going to be another year wondering about what could have been.
I don't see that happening. And the East Coast traveling to West Coast, West Coast traveling to East Coast, I get the point, but I'm not buying that against the Chargers. Their season, and they was this close, I say they make the playoffs. They got a 14-2 record win, and they win the AFC West Division.
All right, Los Angeles Chargers. Definitely a huge difference in record between both of you. We're going to go to the last team in the AFC West. We're going to go from LA. We're going to stay in the state of California, and we're going to go with the Oakland Raiders. We're going to start with you on this one. Definitely different records on this one as well. We have them finishing at 7-9, as well as the Chargers, just slightly in the bottom.
Yeah, I'd like to think John Gruden would get off to a better start in year one with them there, especially their last year in Oakland. But as we were going through the schedule last night, I didn't realize how tough the schedule they had this year. So, they play. I believe they have a game overseas against Seattle, which is going to be kind of an interesting matchup there. Marshawn Lynch going against his old team or whatever else, but Bruce Irvin as well. Actually, I have the Seahawks winning that one as well. I think they're going to be able to do pretty good against the one thing they have good going for them. They play the NFC West. They don't play a lot of East Coast games this year, which would be beneficial to them. But again, same thing. I have losing the game to Baltimore early in the year, 10 a.m. Pacific time start at B-More. So I mean, Gruden's been out of football since 10 years or more now.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think 7-9 would be not the worst thing for him.
And this is only year one of Gruden coming back.
Right, and they won 7 or 8 games this year or last year. I think that's going to be a good enough of a team to go into Vegas next year and build onto that and become a 10, 11, 12 win team potentially.
All right, and Mike, for you and Coach Gruden's first year back, we have him finishing at 4-4.
He's been out the coaching game 10 plus years. Usually not going to come back for out the coaching game and come back in there. Expected to get off to a good season, make the playoffs. That's not going to happen. They're going to go through some growing pains with new coaches staff, new system, the players that they drafted, as I alluded to the other teams, and also the players that they acquired in the offseason. They did get Jordy Nelson. They did get the Chiefs linebacker and Derek Johnson, and they also got a few pieces here and there. They still haven't helped Khalil Mack on the defensive side of the ball. They need to get a linebacker to go alongside with them. They also still need help in secondary, and that's the factors that I feel like they haven't improved on. They did get an offensive tackle in the draft, but I feel like this year they need to focus more on the defensive side of the ball than the offensive side. So 4-12, and I just don't see it happening for the Raiders.
Now, I want to ask you guys this real quick. Granted, this is Coach Gruden's year back, and of course, he doesn't have the players that he wants to fit a system. But you base these records based off of, you kind of give him a pass for this first year and how the Raiders will finish, and maybe see things differently going into 2019.
I give him a pass for year one. It's year 2 or 3. He has to step it up. Because Oakland gave that man a lot of money. 10 years, $100 million contract. First year is a pass. Second, third year, expectation goes up high. If he doesn't do it, he'd be out of the job.
Even Bill Parcells in the year or two of this thing's gonna go.
So final year in Oakland, new coach, new stadium and city coming soon. So maybe they go out with a bang. No, not thinking at all that they at least leave the city of Oakland before they go.
Sorry, Oakland.
I do think they win that final Monday night game against the Broncos on Christmas Eve, though, at home.
Sorry, Oakland. Raider fans, they're not going to the Super Bowl winning as last year, Oakland. I gotta be harsh. I gotta be real. I gotta keep it real.
Hey, Oakland fans, it's always Golden State Warriors. Just being honest. With that being said, we're going to take a break, and that concludes the AFC conference. We're going to jump into the NFC when we come back. Actually, we're running out of time, so I do apologize about that. This information. When we come back next time on Gameball NFL Endzone, we are actually going to discuss the NFC conference and give you, like we did with the AFC, our predictions to their schedules.
Social media. You can follow us on Facebook at Gameball, College Kickoff /Gameball NFL Endzone. We do have an email. You can send us email, fan show support at gck.gnflg@gmail.com. That's gck.gnfle@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter on our official Twitter page at gck_GNFLE. You can follow your boy, Gameball, capitalized _Mike, MYKE. You can also follow us on YouTube. Like, subscribe, share the channel, help us grow. Click that subscribe button. Excuse me. On your far left side, to my right, whatever it is, at gck.gnfle TV. On Instagram, gck_GNFLE. Shop your gear clothing line at tokendesignstopeka.com/gameball. That's tokendesignstopeka.com/gameball. Excuse me, had a little cough for a second. Your social media?
Of course, before I come to that, I want to thank again everybody out there that's supporting us. And don't be afraid to give us feedback either. Tell us what we can do better. Tell us the things that we are doing so we can continue to grow for you guys out there. So once again, thank you everybody that's been following us on social media, YouTube views, the Twitter page, and whatnot. Thank you guys very much. You can find me on Facebook under Marcus Jobel ENT Jenkins. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram as well at Jobel ENT.
I'm on Facebook and Instagram as Luke Hartnett. I'm on Twitter at Luke Hartnett2.
That's two folks. Deuces. Double deuces.
And that's going to do it for this episode of Gameball Info Endzone. Don't forget to join us once again next week as we break down the NFC conference and break down their records and give you our predictions. I'm Marcus Jenkins.
I'm Michael Riley.
I'm Luke Hartnett.
And we're out. See you next time.